happens. Let's pull almost everything to make sure we shut this shit down. So we're going to control group 7 more drones on 3. So step 1, pull a drone, control group 6 drones. Oh, it put down a pylon. Immediately pull that control group 2 of 6 drones. Go down, fight it. Doing that micro you talked about really well. You have a good understanding of this micro. You already talked me through it. I have confidence in what you were doing. We're just going to add this little bit more organization, and you'll notice just getting there a few seconds earlier with your drones, having that first drone chasing the probe, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Second probe arrives, or a pylon comes. Oh, fuck. Grab control group 3 of 7 more drones, and we've basically got the whole mineral line down there. We're splitting it up. Some are attacking pylons, some are blocking the wall-in spots, some are chasing the probes, and we're cutting off the corners like you were saying, doing that micro. And from there, you're going to shut it down. And even if they cancel the pylons, they abandon it, we've lost a lot of mining time. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Their core, their gate, their tech is so delayed behind this. Even if they get up an expansion, we've got a big window to just chill out. It's always better to shut this down. And also, most players suck at transitioning. So they'll just keep trying to cannon rush you, or they'll take like an extra 30 seconds from when you've shut it down to when they actually start macroing at home efficiently. Cool. So that's obviously mega detailed. You feel confident? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of getting down to details of how to defend things.
Yeah.
Rather than flailing.
Yeah, and that's it. All right. So as soon as that, so don't look at the document. Let's rehearse very quickly before we start. We'll ask Eric Master. Go cannon rush, please. Any sort, contain style. Whatever. Cool. Okay, so how many drones do you put on your first control group?
So first one's 1 that chases probe.
Yep. And
second one's 6 if a pylon. And then 7 for if they're committing another probe.
And we're already going to have those 6 control grouped, right? And we can do that basically the moment we see a probe. We can go, oh, he might cannon rush, have them ready on a control group, ready to pull down, right? And as soon as we pull those drones, we're already control grouping the extra drones. So we're always doing it a step ahead, and we don't want to have to use that control group. We don't necessarily use it, but we've always got them grouped ahead of time so we can very easily just pull them down with that control group. And that'll be awesome. All right, let's give it a few goes, shall we? Get a bit of mechanical practice with it. Get some rhythm.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
This is so masochistic.
This is how we do it. This one's going on YouTube for sure. People can be like, defending cannon rushes. And I'm like, it's the exact same stuff I talked about with printf back in the day, but it's good to see it in a more up-to-date setting. So there's always just so many tiny details to it. So let's do it. Let's get in there, work on hotkeying those drones. Remember to pull a drone immediately when you see a probe, and let's smash it. Good luck, have fun. Guys, if you could please deselect the whale avatars. I said I was going to leave it for all of today, but I'm a little bit sick of them. So Master Shake, if you could please change up your avatar, I will appreciate it, guys. I'll try to find a way to remove it. That is just such an offensively large graphic, and I don't want to shrink down everyone else's Pokemon just to make those ones smaller. So do me a favor, please take that one away. Choose a different Pokemon or avatar, and much love, guys. Thank you very much for the support. Appreciate you all being understanding with that. Hope you guys don't mind the keyboard sounds. It's pretty noisy. I'll turn our keyboard down. There we go. Yeah. Sweet as. Sweet as. The size of the avatar is why it's fun. Yeah, it's just obviously, you know. We had fun with it for this whole morning, and now I'm stopping the fun train. I'm stopping the fun train, gang. Yeah, so she already saw the drone, which is why she pulled this down. Notice she's got it on a control group. She should already have... Oh, she accidentally left her overlord on that control group. So that's a bit of a pain. It's not the end of the world. Oh, that overlord is the one. I'm not going to correct it on that. She's got to block that spot. She's got to block that spot. Oh, she killed it. It's fine. No, what's she doing? She's not blocking it. Oh, she's not blocking it. It's fine. She'll still kill it. As long as she splits the drones up. So she should be trying to box those loose drones and attack that. She's doing it. Good job. She should be able to break this. You're doing really good. Just keep trying to break it. Just split those drones up onto those different pylons. You got this. And leave a couple attacking the probe. Any of the stray ones can attack that probe. Commit 100%. Doesn't matter if you lose drones here. Focus those pylons. So something you got to do when the cannon finishes is you can't aim it. And you got to try to focus the pylons down. And this is something which is training exercise doing this. Obviously, we're going to lose a ton of drones, but it's better to just lose them. And if we'd focused those pylons just a little bit more decisively, we wouldn't have lost quite as many. Even now, we're still okay. We've just got to split some dudes onto the probe, split some onto the cannon. Just always keep 2 or 3 chasing the probe, and you got to put a few more on that cannon, and you'll be fine. Yeah, just keep splitting them up, keep building drones behind this, and as soon as we get rid of that pylon, we can just go back. And even now, we can put almost all our drones back on mining, and just leave maybe one nibbling on the pylon, and you can push your overlords out a little bit. So one mistake that happened is we accidentally left our first overlord on control group 2. We didn't override that, so we pulled it home. Now this might feel terrible. We actually lost 7 workers, which is a lot, but I'm going to give you a little map hack. 19 probes versus 16 drones, no expansion for Protoss. You're actually still ahead, even though that was not the cleanest hold. And that's what's great about this like real refinement is even with that mistake of letting that third pylon go up in the ramp, which was the thing which got us behind, you've come out in a pretty decent spot here. It's not ideal, but we can play it from here. So cool to see like, you know, just the power getting those drones down there nice and early, and you're doing a really good job of droning to catch up now. Obviously from here a lot of things can happen. Normally you just want to kind of converge back into your normal game plan. I'm going to pause real quick. Do we want to play this out, or should we just rinse and repeat? I mean, if you feel like you're really lost in these follow-up situations, we can kind of talk through this, but really it's just about kind of trying to scout and adjust and follow up. So what do you favor here?
I think once I stabilize, I'm fine. Most games in which I reach equilibrium again, I usually win. So
all right, let's do it. Let's hop into another game then. Awesome. Relatively even game. Let's go again. GG's, good luck, have fun. Yeah, let's go out. Fantastic, that was good. That was really good. So yeah, not blocking with that drone in that third pylon, that second probe coming up and getting that was the big problem. So we haven't written down any notes on that. Let's be specific. Let's be patient. Let's do it again. Let's write down another note. Let's say, okay, what are our priorities? So we've written down all that stuff with control grouping. Now I'm going to write just a general notes kind of sub list here where we can write down the priority, whatever. So targeting probes with 2 to 3 drones at all times is awesome because it shuts it down, right? But I would say higher priority even than that is blocking the key wall off spots, right? So let's go target priority. So for that first priority, it's block the key wall off spots. So that's something we can train ourselves by watching replays. Train ourselves to visualize whenever a pylon is down. Where could a cannon get nestled in there? Or where could a wall be created? Because any of those is where we obviously create that scenario where they're able to buy enough time to then wall off another cannon somewhere. So just try to work on visualizing those. And your big priority should have been keeping, as soon as you saw those 2 pylons, you should have said, oh, problem is if I get walled off here, right? So it would have been number 1, keep that drone just blocking on hold position in that spot and get extra drones there to support it. Because obviously they could still focus your drone, 2 probes, focus it down, it dies, right? But if you get other drones there, you don't let that wall off, those 2 pylons on the high ground aren't too useful. So you can cut out that really, really douchebaggy spot on the low ground where that cannon got surrounded. Sounds good?
sounds good.
All right. It was an awesome first try. Like I said, you came out even. This time, let's see if we can come out ahead. We know it's coming, so it's a massive advantage for us. But on the other hand, we're going hatch first. And Cannon Rush is really hard to stop with hatch first. So, if we really wanted to make our life easy, we would just go pull first to make it, like, much simpler. But I feel like having this as a set response, it trains us in this real precise, Let's come up with a nice tight response to this thing that's really common in the meta. And let's smash it. Good luck, have fun. Seen a lot of cannon rush double proxy gate on the ladder. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things like that. Should pick the map where there was a corner spot where the pros can actually wall off the cannon, says Stone does. Isn't pretty sure there are a few brutal spots. Like that already, that spot that got used, it's like pylon, pylon, cannon. Or pylon, pylon, pylon. That's like a pretty dirty spot. Pylon can go there, and then it's like bam, pylon, pylon. Okay, that's not a, that's a 4 pylon wall off. Pylon, pylon, pylon. That's a 3 pylon wall off there, which can get a cannon up there. There's a few decent spots. The main one on this map is behind the mineral line, I believe. Is it this map, or is that maybe it's a different map? One of the maps has a terrible 3 pylon wall off behind the mineral line. I don't think it's this map. Must be automaton or something. I think maybe it's automaton. I'm not sure. She hasn't put a drone on it yet. So she forgot to put the drone. I like that she cancelled her gas. That's nice. And notice how she's boxing her drones and telling them to attack different pylons. That's really nice. That makes a big difference. So yeah, she's got to keep attacking the probes with a few of the drones, and the other ones have just got to split their attacks up. So notice she's only got 2 attacking that pylon. That's really important. That's really bad. So she needed to pull more drones to probably focus this pylon on the high ground as well. Because you don't need to kill the cannon, you just need to kill that pylon, that pylon, that pylon. This pylon up here, I don't believe it's powering the cannon. But because she's a little bit preoccupied, she still should be focusing that pylon because it's got great surface area. But look at that, she stopped focusing that one, and that's the problem there. So this one's going to be over now. Too many kills for this cannon. Still hasn't killed the pylon. So we're going to resist the... She keeps attack moving rather than target firing, I believe. And that's the big problem. Alright, let's step out of this one. So we are maybe going to hold on, but definitely going to be really, really tough from here. So I reckon we just tap out, restart, and try to remember to pull that drone down. Because... just a really simple thing. We forgot to have our drone out. So let's just leave this game and start a new one. GG. You still could hold from there, but let's hop out. Better to just immediately kind of reaffirm the correct response from the start rather than try and play it from behind, right? As useful as it is playing from behind, we will inevitably end up in games. We can make this a lot easier if we just kind of get that drone down there and block that spot. So let's try it.
So I pulled the extra drone as soon as I saw the probe.
I didn't see the drone. I did not see any drone chasing that probe, but I saw you pull drones.
He got walled off. That's why.
He was already in your base for quite a few seconds. I think you missed it. You missed it or something like that. Because that probe was hanging around for quite a few seconds, yeah. Because to get 3 pylons like that, they can't do that till a bit later. So just remember, as soon as you see that probe, pull your drone onto it, and that won't be able to happen. Yeah. If they do get a situation like that up, just make sure you don't give any attack move commands, because the moment the cannon finishes, all your units are going to try to attack that. Whereas if we split our drones to attack the pylons powering it, we could have depowered that cannon. It's not ideal, but it would have been a decent kind of middle fix. For now, just pull the drone straight away. We got this. Let's smash it. All right. Defending cannons is hard. It's hard, guys. It's not easy. It's one of the hardest things in StarCraft, but you gotta destroy it. You gotta focus and get a little bit of practice here. You know, it's one of these things where it's very psychological. It's very psychological. Most players who struggle with cannons, it's about not tilting yourself. Thursday, 5 hours in. ZvP cannon defense. So if she loses this one, we're 100% going to take a little break to watch the replay and chill out. Kind of like not just dive into game, but like really process and get that refinement. Get that refinement up. Alright guys, I'll turn the keyboard down a little bit. I don't think Eric Master's being sneaky with the probe. So we should have one drone on a control group. Oh, we see a pylon on the low ground. All right, let's just pull a whole ton of dudes down and let's go ham on it. Bring the extra control group straight away. We've seen a second probe, so we know our opponent's going super YOLO. And just very methodically split all your attacks up. The important thing here is to not panic. Just focus on all the different pylons and codes and cannons and stuff. Keep splitting their attacks up, and you'll be totally fine. An A move there would be beautiful. Make sure we've got 1 or 2 drones attacking that probe. So keep boxing to control these. Keep splitting up their attacks. And it is okay to give an attack move every now and then just to get a few drones to attack the probe, but only on a couple of your drones so they automatically attack it. Other than that, just keep splitting up all your units. Keep getting them to attack different guys, and you'll get on it. Just keep splitting them up calmly. Make sure they all have specific attack commands, because that cannon's going to finish and mess with your attack priority. Just make sure everything's targeted. You're doing good. Keep splitting them up. Don't focus on your macro at all. Really just focus on looking at the drones and boxing them and splitting up their targets. See, some of the drones were, going for the cannon there, which they didn't need to. There we go. That's a better hold. Nice. So this one was still a little bit harder because we didn't chase the probe, and it kind of got up the second layer of surprise wall in. But we held way better than we did in the previous ones. We just got to get the spawning pool down ASAP, build drones, and your overlord, whenever you after a cannon rush, just check their gateway and core timing, and you're going to be like, oh, the gateway's not even finished. Awesome. I've got minutes on end. So let's just play out this recovery for a minute or two, and let's just get back to a normal game so we have just a little bit of practice here, but we should be in a really good spot from this. So the big problem, guys, was right when she was there, and we're going to watch this replay no matter what, she wasn't targeting the probe at all. And there were multiple times where she would look back at her base to like try and build drones or do this or that, and it's like, no, just split your drones up. If you want a macro, all you do is select your hatchery hotkey and queue up more drones with whatever money you have, because you'll only have like a couple of drones still mining. But it's important to just box dudes, click on a pylon, box dudes, click on a pylon, box dudes, click on a pylon. At the same time, always have a few dudes chasing the probe. And if you just keep splitting those units up and kind of microing them to get surface area, you will shut down these cannon rushes. Notice as well, remember the drones on the control groups. Doing really good. One thing that can screw you in the follow-up is forgetting that we have drones on control groups. So grab an overlord and go control 1, control 2, control 3, just so we get those drones off the control groups. Otherwise, I always accidentally bring them into a fight at like the 10-minute mark and go, what the hell? Why are the drones here? But yeah, this is looking good. Obviously, we're up against a 1-base opponent. So we've got to kind of like get our overlord to just keep scouting, see what the follow-up tech is, make sure it doesn't go down to the cannons. And we just want to kind of cover our bases against everything we can. So just keep droning for a little bit. We know the cyber core was very late, so still going to be a little bit before any rush can hit us. But yeah, Roach Horn and second gas, perfect. Just getting that safe setup, you know, a little bit of creep, a third queen. And yeah, 2 mineral lines. I mean, we do need to finish saturating the main mineral line. But once we've got 2 mineral lines, 2 gases against a 1-base opponent, that's an epic economy lead, right? In a normal game, we'd say that's greedy, but you shut down a crazy cannon rush, you saw their techs delayed. So if we say, okay, 2 mineral lines, 2 gases, maybe adding a 3rd gas behind that, that's like more than enough economy. It's going to give us an epic lead. All we need to do is defend. Okay, could be DTs, could be oracles. Let's build a spore at each base. Other than that, let's just build roaches. And we can't die to DTs, we can't die to oracles. Roaches on the ground defend everything. Obviously, we can make Ravager and more Lings reactively if we need to. And we want to keep scouting with any Zerglings we can, putting them out on the map, maybe trying to sneak an Overlord through the base. But it's really just kind of mass a good-sized bunch of Roaches and Lings, get a lair on the way so we can eventually get Roach speed. And every now and then you could squeeze a few more drones out, but since we are up against a 1-base opponent, we've really just got to mass units, right? Just make tons of units and only very slowly squeeze out drones a little bit later on. So really give yourself that patience where you go build 10, 15 roaches, build a few drones. 10 more roaches, a few drones. So lots and lots of units before we focus on army. And we've spotted the move out, so awesome. We know it's a big Immortal all-in, just non-stop Roachling production. Extra Overlords, pull our Overlords away so they don't get sniped. Gather your defenses. Ravagers are always very important if they have force fields, and just very good for kind of dropping down corrosive biles and doing fighting retreats. So we should do really well. Good luck. I wanted to give Lorax a chance to just kind of capitalize on the lead that she developed. Give her a nice, comfortable couple of minutes of follow-up, because this is good psychologically for her to just kind of go, okay, cool, I secured the lead, I won the game, awesome. So she's very high on minerals right now. Should have... Remember, we don't even need to keep the third. We're up against a one-base opponent, so you can probably win this fight. But there's no reason to take a risk there, right? Right now, we should be building Zerglings as well. Did we? Oh, we never got Ling speed. Okay. Always make Zergling speed, because it's very useful. Queue up lots of Queens, because Queens are a great way to spend your minerals as well. But yeah, Ling Ravager is the best response against a lot of these all-ins, and we should be able to hang on as long as we don't stop building army. So yeah, if you need like one more round of units, makes your army way more powerful, there's no reason to defend that third base. It's not really doing anything for you. Your opponent's on one base. So that's why I was kind of talking her through that, guys. Did I end up changing my stream title? I'm not sure I did, guys. Did I? I think I forgot. Oh no, I did. Awesome. Under attack. Remember to get roach speed. That's going to allow you to have a lot more mobility. Remember to spread creep as well. This all reeks of desperation from our opponent, so the real battle is to not get thrown off by the fact that they refuse to lose their army. We'd love them to just fight us and win the game, but they're going to try and stay in the game, so we've just got to stay calm and keep ticking off all our boxes, you know? Okay, squeeze in some drones, make roach speed, build more units, yada yada yada. When roach speed finishes, we can go kill them. Hell, we could even move across the map before then, you know, set up Ling Scouts on the map if we can. Let's just go close this game out at your own leisure. This is the Game Heart overlay, Skybird. Just Google it. You can download it. Yeah, it's just Game Heart. You can download it and throw it in a folder. Should explain it on the Game Heart thread on Team Liquid, I would imagine. Also, getting the 10 hit point pylon at the bottom would have given her more surface area on the cannon. It actually just would have depowered the cannon as well, Zermax. So that was definitely another mistake there, but it never should have gotten to that point with the cannon rush, yeah. What's the timing on the Overlord after the 19th? Depends what build you're doing, Corsal. 30 supply seems like a good number. 30, 32, somewhere around there. Don't worry, Skybird. Not worried about creep too much? Not really. The opponent has no units. It's more important to tick off all the other boxes of just build stuff. Obviously, creep is a nice bonus, but it's not really the highest priority there. Not the highest priority. Kill, crush, destroy. Take your cannons and shove them where the sun don't shine. Good job. That was awesome. That was actually really good. So, guess what? Let's watch a replay real quick and look at some of those details with the drone micro, and then we'll kind of cut this off and focus on some other stuff. But we just want to really focus you on the details of those drone micro, because that's what it's all about. It's just about drone micro, and it's hard, and it's easy to fuck up, and it's tempting to do things like A move at the wrong time, or get too paranoid about A moving and then not use it when the probe is actually running between 10 drones, and it's like, oh, just A move and kill it. So there are some moments where you can do that. In this case, it was just we didn't chase that probe, so it managed to get up that like secondary wall in. So let's go take a look at it here on your natural. And, you know, our opponent was very cheeky this time, very sneaky. So your Overlord path was really good here. But we see, oh, okay, we lucky we saw that pylon, right? So you can be like, ooh, I got to remember next time to move that Overlord like slightly north or something like that. And, I mean, you can also just make it so you just always pull this drone down as well. You can just do that as like every game. It doesn't cost you much at all. I do it a lot of games because a lot of people being cheeky. So if you want, write that down. Make sure you do it every game. That's fine. So here was one where we did a pretty good job of focusing with those drones quickly. However, it would have been nice if we, I like that you started spreading there. It would have been nice if we had a drone on that right-hand side. Because like, if we can start focusing that cannon right now. So just look at this in slow-mo. Let's look at what the drones are doing. So we just did an A move, and it would have been nice to A move some of the drones, but we A moved ones that are up to the top left, not the ones that are on top of the probe. So we just wasted attacking time. And these drones on the right are kind of just sitting there. So you've just got to be a little bit more accurate with your boxes. Like right now, even now, we should be like, okay, just grab 2 drones, click them on the probe, and the other drones split up their attacks and make sure they're focus firing. Notice that cannon still hasn't been getting hit. So now we're finally doing it. But once again, we're pulling drones off that pylon on the north. We've still got drones just kind of chilling on the south side. Let's see. And now we're going to start focusing that pylon, but we still haven't attacked the probe. So it's able to just be really annoying. And you can see we just need to kind of split the drones up a little bit faster. So I think what I probably think is the tendency now that I watch it in slow-mo, and I didn't realize before, is I think you keep trying to put everything on one cannon or one pylon. And it's good because that's a habit of saying, let's finish this important thing, right? If the cannon doesn't go up, buys us a lot of time before things get really bad. But I think just have a little bit more focus on spreading your drones onto separate targets, and it should work out quite well. It's hard because there's like moving priority, but that can be big. Like this pylon here, notice we didn't split drones onto it. If we did, that cannon wouldn't be powered. It wouldn't be getting these 3 or 4 kills it ends up getting. And that probe's having a real hard time now. Ever since you put those 2 drones on it, that probe is like in struggle street. Massive trouble, not able to keep putting down as many pylons and cannons as it wants, and eventually goes down. So just try to split those drones up nicely and go with that. Someone in Twitch chat is saying 4 drones to stop a cannon. But the thing is, that's a nice generic rule for newbies. But for Lorax is a very experienced player, and she knows that. But these cannons aren't getting surface area when they first start. So you want to put as many as you possibly can on them. So Lorax was doing that correctly. But if you guys are newbies watching at home, definitely that's a good way to think about it. If you're not good against cannon rushes, 4 drones on it the moment it starts building. But generally speaking, this sort of scenario, it's just split up everything so we've got as many things attacking as much shit as possible. And yeah, if you chase that probe, you would have shut it down. So so how are you feeling after this game? Do you feel a little bit more confident with the drone hotkeys? Is it a bit more natural? Are you still feeling like you're going to be unconfident on ladder? What's going on in Lorax Town?
It's pretty good in Lorax Town. Outlook is sunny.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I just wasn't committing enough drones to it. I was sort of like half defending it, and that
so just pull a few extra drones, have a bit more
half successful. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I like that we've written down some priorities as well. So if you find yourself failing at it on ladder, go back and look at those priorities and just kind of study those tiny details again. Let's move on to some other things. So what other sort of rushes have been getting you? What other sort of builds have we been dying to? Have there been like charged auto model ins? Have we been dying to Terran 2-base tank pushes? Weird Hellbat BC openings? Like what are we
most of the weird early Terran stuff I'm fine against. Super early crisp, just charge lot 2-base all-in stuff is
cool.
Tenuous, I guess. I don't see the spine drone rush much, but
so when people are charge lot rushing you, are they doing it off an Oracle, a Phoenix, or is it just straight into a Prism? Are they not even going for a Prism and warping it off a pylon or a gateway? Or do you not know because you haven't been checking your replays? Which one?
It's typically Stargate into Oracle, or they'll just go they'll just go with no Stargate tech and just go straight to Twilight. Just like Twilight Robo,
and just like
then
a stalker
they do the
on
gate dump
probably,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I'll give Eric Master some instructions here, and. All right, let's get this set up. A blue shift, a small map. All right. All right. There was a question in chat. What if it's a fake pylon with no forge at home? Then we put our drones back to mining. If that pylon finishes, there's no second probe, there's no other structures going down. We go, and we just leave one drone, maybe two chasing the probe, and we go back to mining, and we say, I'm a few minerals behind, but guess what? They fucked up their opportunity cost. They sent a probe across that loses a lot of minerals very early. They built a pylon, which delays their nexus. They've probably delayed their gateway potentially even with it. Slows them down. We're still in a pretty normal game. So people stress too much about that. If you start encountering that a lot on the ladder, you can be more detailed with your response. You can say, I just pulled 4 drones after the first one, rather than 6. I've got 2 more drones mining, but I've got another 10 or 12 ready on another control group 3. So if I do see a second probe or any buildings start to go down, the extra drones get there real fast. And to compensate for having less drones on the low ground early, I make sure I micro those 4 to block any dirty wall off spots, to damage the probes, and to really stop them getting the wall off. So the 12 drones, even though they're later, they'll come down and still shut it down. So you can just always adjust there and compensate with micro. But for now, we're going to not focus on that. We're going to play a little bit safer and just say, just pull the 1 drone into the 6 drones we see a pylon. This way, we're not giving ourselves that, towing the line of greed. We're trying to be a little bit on the side of safety because it's very easy to fuck up and die, especially if we're not familiar with a certain spot on a map and there's a cheeky wall off we didn't even know could happen.